My work on the subject of ergonomics, I distributed the segment in 10 slides and I will be explaining each of them. Chair. The button are moving upwards. Base. The chair should have at least 5 casters at the base to ensure stability. Chair with 5 casters are more stable than 4 caster chairs. 4 caster chairs are easier to tip over. Backrest. The backrest height should be adjustable so the lumbar support can be fitted into the low back. The backrest should mirror the shape of your back to provide support. Armrest. Firstly, armrests are optional, even with the range of adjustment found in many of today's armrests. There are some places where armrests will interfere with work. Now we are going to see 2 photographs about the correct position in the chair. Sitting up my chair. Start out adjusting a chair from the ground up. Start with the height and move up from there. While adjusting the chair, worry first about getting the chair adjusted to fit you. Afterwards, look at things like the height of the desk, keyboard, etc. Too often, people adjust a chair too high so they can reach the keyboard rather than properly adjusting the chair and adding a keyboard. Try to move the keyboard to the correct height. Seat height. Start by adjusting the height until your thighs are parallel to the floor. Stand in front of the chair and adjust the height until the top of the seat pan is at the height of the bottom of your kneecap. Then sit in the chair and make small height adjustments until your thighs are parallel to the ground. Seat depth. Adjust the seat pan until you have about 3 fingers of room between the back of your calf and the front edge of the chair when your back is touching the backrest. If the seat pan is not adjustable and the pan is too deep, add padding to the backrest to shift you forward in the seat while maintaining contact with the backrest. If the seat pan is too shallow, start looking for a new chair. Seat angle. There are 3 basic postures. The standard postures call for a level seat pan, so it is not necessary to adjust the tilt for this posture. Likewise, the reclining posture can have the seat flat as well. However, some people prefer to have a very slight backward tilt on the seat pan to help keep them in the seat. In the forward tilt posture, the seat pan is tilted forward 5 to 10 degrees. Start by raising the overall height of the chair in few inches and then tilt the seat pan forward. Backrest height. The lumbar curve of the backrest should fit into the small of your back. Start by raising the chair back as high as possible and then move the backrest downward in a small step until it feels most comfortable. If the chair doesn't have enough lumbar support, consider adding a lumbar pad to the chair. Backrest angle. In the standard postures and forward tilts postures, the backrest should be straight up. If it feels as though the chair is pushing you forward, adjusting the backrest back until you feel upright. In the recline posture, the backrest should be reclined slightly. When seated, the angle between the thighs and back should be more than 90 degrees. Armrest. Firstly, armrests are optional, even with the range of adjustment found in many of today's armrests. There are some places where armrests will interfere with work. Armrest height. Sit in the chair with your arms bent 90 degrees and raise the armrest until it is directly under your elbow. Repeat the process with the other arm and then check that the armrests are the same height. Armrest width. Some armrests pivot or slide inwards, allowing you to change the angle and width of the armrest. Adjust the armrest inwards until it is directly under your elbow while your upper arm shoulder is relaxed. You should not have to reach your elbows outwards to reach the armrest. If the armrest pivot them slightly inwards so they are underneath your forearms when you reach inwards to the keyboard. Mouse position. Keep your hands raised and more arms in a neutral and comfortable position, parallel to the plane of the table. Do not immobilize the wrist. An ergonomics mouse is one that adapts to the physical characteristics of the person and allows working in a comfortable and healthy way for long periods of time, contributing to a dog's natural posture and to keep the musculature relaxed. Keyboard position. When writing with the computer, do not immobilize or rest your wrist on the work surface, on your knees or on the palm rest. If you support the palms of your hands while writing, it may be damaged as you will be forced to bend your wrists and fingers a lot and restrict your movements. Ergonomic keyboard. Unlike a standard keyboard, on ergonomic keyboard there is a gap halfway through the letter is to form a V shape with the letter. The objective of this form V is to relieve the pressure of the dominant hand and distribute the pressure equally between the two hands. This type of keyboard are priced a little higher than a standard keyboard. Environmental factors. General lighting should ensure sufficient light and adequate contrast between the screen and its surroundings. You have to avoid glare and reflection. The window shouldn't be in front of the computer user. The operating temperature in summer between 23 to 26 degrees and in winter between 20 and 24 degrees.